I think Fred again is the most captivating pop producer of the last 5 years. But why is his music so irresistible? How has he connected with people in a way that no other producer has before? Most people think it's because of his musical talent, technical skill, or his industry connections. But from what I can see, he only really has one focus, and it's something that a lot of producers and artists forget to think about at all. Today I'm going to reveal to you what that is and how you can use it in your music as well. When Fred was 16, he had already found music. He went to one of the best schools in the UK where he learned many instruments. And then he met this guy. This is Brian Eno. He is arguably one of the most influential producers of all time and the originator of ambient music. Brian began to mentor Fred, but by his own admission, this mentoring went both ways. Brian felt like he was learning from Fred as much as Fred was learning from him. Soon enough, he started songwriting and pitching these songs to whoever would listen. He gradually worked his way up to work with bigger and bigger artists, eventually becoming Ed Sheeran's go-to producer on his number 6 collaborations album. In 2019, Fred had produced almost 1/3 of all of the number 1 singles in the UK. He was huge, but the world still didn't really know who he was. But how did he become so successful? And why couldn't the world resist his music, even though they didn't know it was his? Well, let's look at it like this. Imagine you're out for a walk and you stumble across a note on the floor. This note is a page from someone's diary where they beautifully describe how they feel. They hold nothing back and the raw emotion just jumps out at you. And by coincidence, this also happens to match up with something that you're going through at the moment and you connect with it straight away. Well, this is exactly what happens when we listen to Fred's music. As we listen, he is tapping into our emotions, and his main objective is to find the emotion of the song and lean into it as much as he can. In his own words, Fred's songs know themselves. These songs know exactly what they're about, and each element speaks specifically to the emotion in the song. He's not making songs for the industry, songs that he feels will make a lot of money. He's making songs cater to people, trying to authentically capture whatever they're feeling. And millions of people now have found this music and are relating to it. The sounds that they hear and the lyrics that they hear all match and merge with what they're feeling. It's truly beautiful. Okay, so we know emotion is the reason that Fred's music is connected with millions of people worldwide, but how can we get emotion to spill out of our music? Well, let's jump back into Fred's story to find a practical example of how to do this. Already an established industry producer, everything changed for Fred when he started releasing his own music. In 2019, Fred released a song called Cow, beginning a journey that we've never seen before. In this song, Fred again takes the poem Love in the Time of Undeath by spoken word artist Guante or Kyle Tranmere. He dissects it and he tunes it, filling the silence with pianos and pads to make this a masterpiece. What Fred does in this song is he embraces the imperfection of it. The original vocal here isn't singing. It doesn't have a tempo, it doesn't have a key, but the performance from Guante gave Fred more than enough inspiration to make this a full track. The lesson to be learnt here is that the most important things in a vocal are passion and emotion. Tuning and timing can be altered, but you can't add emotion to a vocal. This song became the backbone of Fred's style. He would take off-the-cuff moments, beautiful things that he saw, moments with friends, Instagram posts, anything. He would pull out raw emotion from the moment and surround it with music to fit. In his interview with Zane Lowe, Fred talks about the process of making music around these moments. Here's how he thinks about it.
It took me so long to try and find the way in which I could try and expose the beauty in these moments without it like distorting the person's soul or like having some fundamental dissonance with what they were originally doing, and like still feeling like you're being respectful and all that.
Keeping the life in it.
Keeping the life of both them and you, and then allowing it to become its own. That was the thing for me, is realizing it was becoming a new other thing.
He holds each part of the song so closely to his heart. He's trying to keep the life of it, give it the respect that it deserves, and pull out the emotion as he sees fit. Trying to keep these things true and creating something new, this is the challenge. Often as producers, we add what we like to music, but really, we need to add what we feel. We need to serve the song rather than serve ourselves and our tastes. Often these things collide, but our primary focus should be to serve the song. Fred creates music in some odd places. He said that some of his favourite places to carve out ideas is on the London Underground or in a nightclub. But why? Well, imagine spending all your time in the studio, without going outside, without interacting with other people, without experiencing. You would only be able to make good, emotionally connected music for a certain amount of time. Eventually, you'd need to go out and find some inspiration, just live a little. Fred creates in these spaces to spark memories, to ignite emotions that he's already felt. He's watching people go through life and feel. And so Fred takes this back into the studio. He says there are countless moments where he just puts a drone on and sits there, and he just feels the emotion of the chords that are playing. Taking emotions and using them as a source of inspiration is what makes producers unique. Everyone feels emotion, and everyone can process emotion, but how we express that emotion is different every time. So as you're making music, don't put too much pressure on yourself, and don't forget to feel what you're making. It will make it easier for the right ideas to show themselves. As I said before, Fred is a technical master, but he's not the only one that has figured out that emotion wins. This video goes into the details of how Boy Wonder has carved his own lane in this music industry. I hope you enjoy it.